There is one feature that CS2 really needs right now. I believe this feature is going to help the game grow a healthy, sustainable player base over the next few months and years. It is not only going to help people coming back to Counter-Strike, but more importantly, people that are completely new to attack shooters or even FPS in general, as well as people switching over from other FPS titles such as Valorant. If Valve adds this one feature, it could potentially kill Valorant completely. Now, obviously a lot of people have been talking about the lack of features, whether that be game modes, a better anti-cheat, better ranked system, or even just being able to manually select which local server you want to play on, so you don't need to queue with the Russian brothers every time.
Тяжелый, сука! Big burger!
Even though I think EU Counter-Strike right now is the best language learning app if you're trying to pick up Russian real quick. But I'm not talking about any of that stuff, alright? I'm certain that Valve is gonna add that and fix it over the next few weeks and months. Valve is pumping out patches faster than people are able to uninstall Valorant. Just as I'm recording this, they released a patch note where they fixed, among other things, a bug where users from Germany were incorrectly identified as users from China. Now, what is this feature I've been talking about this whole time? Here it is. It's a native, developer-made training range. Now this might seem pretty random at first. Why do we need a training range made by Valve if there are gonna be community maps way better than anything Valve could cook up by themselves? Well, there is one simple answer, and that answer is accessibility. You see, in most other titles, the shooting range or training range is easily accessible through the menu, even if you're a complete beginner to the game. In fact, the game might even start you there if you're on a fresh installation. Now, CS2 has something called Training Day, which as far as I understand is basically just a bot match with some text. And CSGO had something called a training course, which introduced you to the basic mechanics of the game. Now, those are what I would consider tutorials, and of course they are needed. However, they serve a different purpose than training ranges. While a tutorial is there to introduce a player to the basics of the game, the training range is there to help the player perfect it, even if they are advanced or intermediate.
Is it true that you practice 10,000 headshots for 3 hours every day?
I don't do it anymore, but I definitely did it for like a period of eight months.
A training range helps people get used to the movement, the weapon handling such as spraying and recoil. It also just helps people get used to the general visuals and feels of the game. And if you add a scoreboard to it, of course, you can track your improvements and compare your scores to those of your friends, which can be very motivating. Making mechanics training more accessible to new players is going to help retain a lot more of the players that are coming in to see us for the first time. Now, of course, there's deathmatch, but that might not be the most inviting to brand new players, and even some advanced and intermediate players are just kind of annoyed by Valve deathmatches.
I don't like to play deathmatch, so I'd say AMS for sure, yeah.
I really don't like to play deathmatch because it's like annoying.
On top of that, it is a lot less efficient than training in a proper training map. Where you have to wait for the duels to happen in deathmatch, there is a non-stop flow of aim training and movement training coming straight into your brain when you're using an actual training map. But what do you think? Should we purely rely on the community and third-party tools such as aim maps when we're trying to perfect our aim and in-game mechanics for Counter-Strike? Or should Valve help us do it in a more unified and much more accessible environment? Thanks for watching and have a refreshing day.